Welcome to ProBeta's quick video tutorials. In this video, we'll be discussing document 9010, blank work program. The objective of this work program is to set forth the procedures necessary to complete an efficient and effective audit. It consists of a detailed plan of the work that must be performed, encourages a thorough understanding of the section being audited, and includes the steps required to achieve the audit objectives. The work program also furnishes evidence that the work was adequately planned and provides a record that can be reviewed and approved by management before performing the work, thereby contributing to assignment supervision and aiding the reviewer in reviewing the audit. Lastly, the work program provides assurance that all appropriate risk areas have received adequate consideration and that important aspects of the audit have not been omitted, while bringing order and coherence to the audit. This document can be found under the Case View Templates folder within the Lead Sheets and Work Programs folder in your Caseware document library. Please note that this document is a template document. Thus, multiple copies of this document can be made. You have to create a copy of the document, renumber the document with the section number where the work program will be used, and rename the document before it can be used. This document reflects decisions made in your planning section of the engagement. It will not necessarily contain all these tabs, as they are enabled or disabled in other documents during the planning of the engagement. Your document can contain a combination of all or some of the following tabs. Risk assessment and lead schedules. This section, or parts thereof, can be shown or hidden in the probe firm settings. Significant risk responses. Tests of control. These two tabs will only show if audit procedures were designed by you in document 1220, Audit Plan and Strategy. Required procedures. This tab will always show and cannot be disabled. Extended analytical procedures. Extended tests of detail. And substantive sampling. Note that you can enable or disable each of these three tabs in document 1220, Audit Plan and Strategy. And finally, the Conclusion tab. On the Risk Assessment and Lead Schedules tab, no input is required from you, as the information will automatically pull through from your planning documents. You'll notice a summary of the risk at financial statement level, the risk at assertion level, materiality, and the lead schedules. Some of these items may or may not display, depending on your selections made in the probe firm settings. On the Significant Risk Responses tab, in the first column, no input is required from you, as this is a description of the risk with the affected audit assertions in brackets recorded in document 1160, Risk Assessment at Assertion Level. In the next column, the audit procedures designed by you in document 1220, Audit Plan and Strategy, are listed. The default settings enable you to insert the findings and conclusion for each risk response under each procedure. Your response in the Results and Conclusion section will be carried forward to document 020, Partner Sign-Off for the partner to conclude on. You may, however, disable the Results and Conclusion area in your probe firm settings. In the Exceptions column, you need to state whether you found any exceptions during testing by using the Yes/No drop-down box. If you select Yes, a comment box will appear under the procedure where you can document your findings. When exceptions are documented accurately, it will assist you in determining where more work may be needed or where documents may be outstanding. You'll then need to indicate who performed this procedure by clicking in the Performed By box. If you found no exceptions, the Performed By box will be signed off automatically. The final column is the Reference column. Here you can insert the reference if necessary to supporting documentation or other documents within your Caseware file. Before moving on to the next tab, you have to conclude on the assurance that you have obtained from the procedures performed. On the Tests of Control tab, in the Control column, you will notice a description of each control with the affected audit assertions in brackets recorded in document 1160, Risk Assessment at Assertion Level. In the Test of Control column, the Test of Control procedure designed by you in document 1160, Risk Assessment at Assertion Level, and document 1220, Audit Plan and Strategy, is listed. You can then complete the exceptions, performed by, and reference column, as well as the assurance obtained as described previously. The columns of the next 4 tabs are identical. The assertions will enable you to evaluate if all appropriate risk areas have received adequate consideration, and will enable you to evaluate if more work is needed on a certain assertion. You can switch the assertion column off in your probe firm settings. In the Procedures column, you will be guided to look at different sources and documentation to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to substantiate that the financial statements are free from any material misstatements. Once again, you can complete the exceptions, performed by, and reference columns, as well as the assurance obtained, as described previously. On the Conclusion tab, you have to conclude on various events and conditions by answering yes or no to the questions posed. A summary of all the assurance obtained from the different types of procedures will then be shown for you to conclude on the estimated audit risk remaining. Probe MMX will make an estimation of the estimated audit risk remaining. You can see this estimation by hovering over the estimated audit risk remaining for the relevant assertion, and if you agree with the estimation, you can double-click on the cell to accept the estimation. After you have estimated the audit risk remaining for all assertions, and the desired audit risk is equal to or lower than the estimated audit risk remaining, you can conclude that sufficient appropriate audit evidence was obtained for that specific audit assertion. If, after you have estimated the audit risk remaining for all assertions and the desired audit risk is not equal to or lower than the estimated audit risk remaining, you cannot conclude that sufficient appropriate audit evidence was obtained for that specific audit assertion. You then have to decide whether the original audit plan needs to be revised or whether you should modify the audit opinion. To revise your audit plan, you have to answer yes to the question in the conclusion, a need to revise our audit plan. You can then revise your plan and enable more types of procedures to perform. You can also revise your initial risk of material misstatement, or ROMM, for the section per assertion by clicking on the up-down arrows. You can also revise your materiality from the materiality that was set in planning by answering yes to the question, a need to revise our overall or specific materiality assessment. Finally, conclude this document by ensuring that all procedures were performed and that all exceptions have been documented and resolved before signing it off. For more information, you can visit our website at www.probemmx.com. Email us at probesupport@probeta.co.za or call us on 010-595-QMMX today. Thank you for watching.